Hello everyone, welcome back. In the last lesson, you learned about some of the basics of paraphrasing. Now, in order to paraphrase effectively, you need to understand the strategies for doing so. In this lesson, we will explore some of these strategies. Let's start. Before we start paraphrasing and exploring the strategies to do so, there are a few things about paraphrasing that we should keep in mind. First, remember that, in a sense, paraphrasing is the process of reading works of other scholars, understanding them, and then rewriting them in your own words. Essentially, what you're doing is repackaging the ideas of the source so that you do not copy it directly. Of course, you still have to cite the source of your paraphrase. Second, an effective paraphrase involves many strategies, such as changing word order and sentence structure, integrating relevant information, and using synonyms for key terms. All these strategies are needed to be used together in order to paraphrase well. Third, don't forget that the point of paraphrasing is to deliver the same meaning and ideas from the source to your explanation. Make sure that no matter what you do, the meaning and ideas from the source do not change during your paraphrasing process. Now that we know what to pay attention for in paraphrasing, let's see an example. This one is from MIT. Here we can see the original source, a plagiarized text, and a paraphrased text. See if you can spot the differences and reasons why one is plagiarism and one is paraphrasing. You can pause the video in order to take a closer look. Are you done? Great. Let's move on to the answers then. Okay, so here are the answers. But before we begin, be aware that at any time, if you want to see the text again, just rewind the video to take another look. So, first of all, why is one of the texts considered as plagiarism? Well, there are two particular reasons. First, the first text uses exactly the same words as the source text. Can you see them? Not only that, it takes place multiple times. Another reason is that even though they use synonyms, they're not paraphrased enough so that the wordings overall are still much too similar with the source text. How about the second text? How is it good paraphrasing? Well, first, it makes sure that the idea or meaning within the text is not changed in comparison to the source, which is very important. Next, it has not only synonyms, But also, there are other strategies employed within the changing of the sentence structure. You need to use both of these strategies together in order to make a good paraphrase. Okay, so here are the answers. Before we begin though, if you need to see the text again, just rewind the video and take another look. So, first of all, why is one of the texts considered as plagiarism? Well, there are two clear reasons. First, the first text uses exactly the same words as the source text. Not only that, but it takes place multiple times. Another reason is that even though they use synonyms, they're not paraphrased enough so that the wordings are overall much too similar with the source text. Now, how about the second text? How is it good paraphrasing? Well, it makes sure that the idea or meaning of the text, of the original text that it is trying to convey, it does not change in comparison to the source, which is a very important thing to do. Next, it has not only synonyms, but also other strategies employed together so as to make a good paraphrase. Finally, the paraphrase text is properly cited, which is a must in any type of referencing. Let's try some of the strategies for paraphrasing now. All right, let's practice on the strategies on how to paraphrase. There are many that we can explore, but a few of the common ones are outlined here. First, you should find synonyms for particular words. This means for any word that is possible to find a synonym without changing the meaning, then you should use the synonym. This will help in changing the words so that you do not use the exact same vocabulary or diction as the source. Second, you should formulate your sentence structure so it will be different from the source. For instance, if the source explains the idea by specifying point A, B, and then C, try to change it up to C, A, then B, or try other orders. Third, you should also change the voice in the sentence. This means changing active voices into passive ones. This often necessitates a change in the tense. Finally, a fourth strategy that you could use for paraphrasing is modifying parts of speech. This means changing words from verbs to nouns to adjectives and so on. I hope these steps or these strategies are helpful to preserve the meaning while adding your own thoughts and ideas. Now, all that might be a bit daunting to keep track of by yourself. So let's try to have a simple checklist to help you out. Check all of these items to make sure you're paraphrasing correctly and effectively. First, you need to understand the information from the original source. So you can't simply just try to copy the source and then change the words later without actually understanding the idea of the source. Second, it might be tempting to use very complicated words unnecessarily in order to make the paraphrasing sound different from the original. However, a good academic only uses advanced terms when needed. When you don't need to, be sure to use formal words that the layman can understand more readily. Third, is the paraphrased text completely your own words? Compare it with the source text and see how similar it is. A good paraphrase should appear very different to the source text, yet still retain the original idea and meaning. Fourth, have you done other things aside from changing the word order and sentence structure? Remember that the key to using paraphrasing strategies is to use them and combine them all together to aid you in re explaining the source in your own words. Do not fall into the trap of copying the source text and trying to apply one or two strategies of paraphrasing separately. Fifth, make sure that you make it clear to your readers that you are using other people's points of view. In this case, citation is key. The final two items should be your final checks. Ask yourself after you're done if it is correctly paraphrased. If you think it's not, then try redoing the checklist to see what you did wrong. If you are sure that you paraphrased it correctly, the final step would be to make sure that you cite it correctly as well. So, everyone, that was strategies for paraphrasing. I hope you'll be able to paraphrase correctly and effectively now so that you can avoid plagiarism. I look forward to seeing you in the next lesson. Thank you.